Scott Dixon survives terrifying wild ride crash at the Indy 500 inches. One News. It's just a wild ride, man, you just hold on, Kiwi motorsport ace Scott Dixon said about his terrifying Indy 500 crash. Scott Dixon has coolly described a wild ride after walking away from a terrifying high-speed crash at the Indy 500 with a minor injury. Disaster struck on lap 54 of the famous race for Kiwi motorsport ace and pole-sitter Dixon when lap driver Jay Howard let another car through but got above the racing line. Howard slipped up the oval circuit at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, hitting the wall and falling back down the track. "I really didn't think he was coming home." Wife Emma reflects on Scott Dixon's crash at the Indy 500. Traveling at about 350 km/h, a trailing Dixon had almost no time to react as his car launched off the back of Howard's and into the air, spinning and colliding hard with the safety barrier. Dixon's '09 Chip Ganassi Honda then flipped violently onto its top and back onto its one remaining wheel before the splintered wreck slid to a rest. Scott Dixon's Indy car splinters in midair in a terrifying crash at the Indy 500. Dixon and Howard both walked away from the incident and were cleared and released by the medical center at the track. The Kiwi later returned to have a sore left ankle assessed and left for a second time in a padded boot. Speaking to ESPN after the crash, Dixon described the incident as a wild ride and said he was happy that everyone was unharmed. The Kiwi driver is launched off the back of the No. 77 car driver by Jay Howard during the 101st running of the Indianapolis 500. "Just a little bit beaten up there, it was definitely a bit of rough ride. I'm just bummed for the whole team though," the 2008 Indy 500 winner and four-time IndyCar champion said. Dixon had a split-second choice to make as he spotted Howard's car falling down the track towards him. Sitting sixth after one pit stop, Dixon attempted to turn under Howard but was unable to prevent his front right colliding with the back left of the No. 77 car, sending him skywards and into the barrier and fence. Dixon's car was catapulted into the air. "I think when you make those decisions about which way to go, you're hoping that Jay was going to stay against the wall but had already picked that way to go. So just happy he's okay too," Dixon said. Understandably emotional, Dixon's wife Emma described just how serious she thought things were as she watched the incident unfold. "I really didn't think he was coming home," she said. "That was the worst thing I've ever seen." Scott Dixon with wife Emma and their two kids celebrating the Kiwi driver's winning of pole position for the Indy 500. "I went back to the bus to use the loos. I looked up on the TV just as it happened. I'm just glad he's okay. That's all that really matters." No doubt referring to the fact Dixon had last weekend powered his way to pole before later being robbed at gunpoint in a restaurant drive-thru, Davis Dixon said it had been an insane week of highs and lows. She also added how thankful she was for the safety features of the open-wheel cars used in IndyCar and the fast work of the safety crew. RNZ New Zealand motor racing driver Scott Dixon has survived a spectacular crash at the Indianapolis 500. To see them running to him that quickly, I think it was seconds. I was watching it and everything was moving really slowly in that moment for me, but I remember seeing safety crew get to him. It's just not our week, it's just not meant to be. Kiwi Motorsport ace Scott Dixon. Dixon's car became loose and hard to handle as he dropped back several spots before the first round of pit stops, but he said it felt as though they were making some progress before the incident. Known by many as Iceman, the South Auckland race driver was typically cool about the crash and also heaped praise on the sport's safety protocols. "It's just a wild ride and you have to hold on and believe in the safety progress that we've made over the last many years," he said. Howard felt an aggressive pass from Ryan Hunter-Reay, who he was trying to let through, caused him to get onto the slippery part of the track and slid up into the wall. 7 laps down on the leader at the time, Howard said he was glad Dixon was okay. "We were out there just trying to pick up some laps and see if we could get some yellows to maybe salvage something from the race. Hunter-Reay got a run on me and I tried to lift, being a nice guy, and he moves right over on me and puts me out in the grey on the marbles. The rest is history and it causes a massive accident. To say I'm unhappy is an understatement." Replay, the view from at H3 Lyos onboard camera during the Scott Dixon 9 incident in Turn 1 at IRMS Indy 500 IndyCar pic. Twitter.com, Faculties 41 IndyCar Series, at IndyCar, May 28, 2017.